Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rolling Swarm from the Immortals clan here, and very, very happy we've got a special guest here doing an interview. We've got Tomas, clan leader of Legion Clan, the #1 clan in the world at the moment. Champions took home the Twister Cup from 2017, and they've just played a game against the Raid clan. This is the last day of games in the second round of the Blitz Events Community Euroleague before the playoffs. They came up 2-2 against Raid. Very, very tough series of games. So, Thomas, great to have you here. Did the games versus Raid go as you expected?
Hey, good to be here. Thanks for having me. About the Raid games, went pretty close to what we expected. We didn't have a full top team because a few guys are out, so we had to use some backup players. And I think Raid didn't even have their top squad either. So it was a pretty close match, actually, as you can see from the result. But yeah, we didn't expect Winter Malinovka to go as well, and we didn't expect Canyon to go as bad. Out of more so said 1-1 on each map, or close enough to that. But yeah, we certainly outperformed them on Malinovka, but they outperformed us on Canyon.
Yeah, and on I think it was the second game on Winter Malinovka, you had the 268 under the A cap at the bottom, and an IS7 pushing round into their spawn. Was that a bait strat? Were you intentionally trying to draw Raid down into a field of fire there?
Yeah, well, that's basically the strat is like we hold up, and then we also send tanks down. If they're up, we just hold up, and then we send tanks down to cap A. And if they push down, it makes it very easy for us because the mouses can create crossfire from above and just push in. And then the I7, if he gets rushed, the 268 literally just farms him for free.
It was in the middle. The 268 had a great time until he was eventually, I think he was taken down, but
No, he didn't even get taken down.
Oh,
I rushed in front of him, and they took me and one of the masters down because we just rushed in front of 268. They can take us down, but 268 will just keep on farming. So
with that great penetration in DPM numbers, fantastic. Yeah. Did you expect Raid? Because both times on Canyon map, both you and Raid pushed quite aggressively for a single cap whilst trying to get control over B. Were you expecting to meet them head to head in both instances?
On the C cap, I thought it could be definitely possible, but we weren't expecting them to rush A as aggressively because it's usually quite a risky play. But we had some less experienced players playing on the team as well, and the trading just didn't work out for us. I think that's basically why we lost. To be honest, they just traded better when they pushed. They pushed very decisively, and some of our players, they didn't really know how to hold the positions, and they just didn't play as well. So hats off to Raid. They played a very good push there.
And in general, I know Legion and Raid are some of the oldest clans in the game. How do you feel about Raid as an opponent? Are they someone that you not have a lot of respect for? Because obviously you do, but in terms of do you have to play extra hard? Do you have to step up your game versus them compared to other opponents? That sort of thing.
Yeah, Raid are certainly one of the they're one of the legendary clans in Blitz. I would say they've always been the best German clan. They've always been one of the top 3 or 4 clans, probably at all times almost in EU. So always, you always have to play. You always have to play as best as you can. You can't really expect an easy match versus Raid. And although I believe they weren't using some of their top team players that they used probably in some of the other tourneys, they probably didn't have everyone on right now either because it's quite early. But same for us. So we were like, we knew it wouldn't be easy win for sure.
Mm-hmm. And you've got your next game coming up this evening at 8 o'clock versus the Immortals. Mm-hmm. Without giving anything away, what can we expect from Legion? Are we going to see much of the same, or have you got some sneaky strats up your sleeve?
Well, for Malinovka, it's not actually even a tournament. It's not a tournament map, so we just decide whatever we want to do. We just do. It's no actual set strats in Malinovka, so we don't really know what we're going to do there yet. And as for Canyon, there's also a couple options, but I'm not really sure. I just know we can actually do more of the normal strats we do because we'll have all our full team should be on by then, so it should be easier for us to do whatever strat we actually want. So as we already have it prepared.
So this going in against Immortals, we're going to see Legion's fiercest lineup basically going in.
Yes, hopefully if everyone's on by then, we should have our full lineup. Still not sure where the others are because one of them was actually meant to be commentating until they found out we have a match, and then they don't even turn up for the match, and I'm just like, interesting.
Oh shit!
But
All
it
right.
doesn't really matter. Hopefully, it should be a good match again some more.
Definitely. I'm being from the Immortals clan myself. I'm very much looking forward to watching you guys duke it out. But from the commentator seat, no pressure. Much better from up here. What's your and just before we go, your thoughts on round 2 in general? I know you lost 3-1 to win. How do you think it's gone for Legion so far in round 2?
I mean, I don't think it's gone the best. We haven't really prepared that well for it because the pro tourneys are on and stuff like that.
Of
So
course, yeah.
it hasn't been our main focus, but it's good. It's at least good as to spar other clans. And it's still a tournament, so it's still it's still a little bit of pressure to see how you perform. So that's really the main reason why we're doing it. And I think it could have gone better, but it hasn't gone terrible either. I think that's why.
And knowing that you guys are still through into the playoffs, you can still definitely take the whole thing, which is great. But like you say, the professionals tournament is obviously the number one priority for the clans at the moment. The prizes and everything that goes along with that. Last thing before we say goodbye, thank you very, very much for coming and speaking with us. It'd be great to speak to you again after the Immortals match, just to talk about those games in general. Any shout outs you want to make while you're on here on stream?
I just like to shout out the guys from our second team really because some of them had to step in today, and although they may not be experienced, and it was quite hard for them to actually play with us, but they didn't do bad considering they had like 10 minutes to prepare. So thanks a lot to them.
Wow. Okay, super. Well, that's Tomas, clan leader of Legion, number 1 clan in the world, number 1 clan on the EU server at the moment, if we're going by the standings. Thank you very much, Tomas. Pleasure to speak with you, and I'm looking forward to see you play Immortals at 8 o'clock this evening. Thank you very much.
Thanks. See you later, mate.